Legend of Zebra Spirit Cracks. Nintendo, you stay far away from this video. I see one copyright claim on it. I can't promise your safety. There's a wiffle bat involved in my countermeasures. Oh, by the way, this game sucks, but I played it. So in addition to something that should have never been made, Spirit Tracks is also really stupid. But that's not the only thing here that's stupid. Yeah, that's right. There's something even stupider here. You. And you want to know why? Because you bought a DS. You know you did. Don't try to cover it up. But hey, at least you're not one of those fan fanatics that praise Nintendo like they're the second coming of Jesus. Unless you do praise Nintendo like they're the second coming of Jesus, in which case go fuck yourself. I don't get you guys. If you fall under that Nintendo is Jesus category, listen up. It's time to get back on the medication and start piecing your lives back together while being locked up in a padded cell for a very long time or until you die. Nintendo is an overhyped, full of itself company that's run by out-of-touch old men sitting up in their big shiny tower, making horrible gimmicks that nobody asked for in a game console. That or they're making it so that your 3DS can't fold. Fuck the 2DS, seriously! Sony or Microsoft does something shady, everybody yells at them. But Nintendo claims anything on YouTube that has their shitty games on it and they get a free pass. You know what? I already talked about this. I have to advertise myself just to spite them. Fuck Nintendo and everything they stand for. And now on that note, fuck Spirit Tracks and everything that it stands for. Think about this. Nintendo executives all sat around a table and decided that Link's main means of transportation should be a fucking train. So we've gone from the free movement of a boat to being confined to a goddamn metal line on the ground. I'm definitely getting that sense of freedom and adventure. What is with the Japanese and trains? The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks, or as I like to call it, Spirit Hacks. There's a bit of a backstory to that title. I was arguing with I don't want to call him a friend, not even an acquaintance, actually. I hate him. Not important, you know who you are and what you did. You said the train in this game was better than the boat from Phantom Hourglass in every single way, including mobility. So I explained to this shitty member of the human race, the boat can go anywhere in the ocean and you're confined to the fucking railroad tracks. Also, on Earth, there's more water than land, so even if there were tracks everywhere, I would still have more freedom. So this guy, being the oh-so-special snowflake that he is, comes out with this and says, "Oh, I could hook up an action replay and make the train go anywhere. Also, I could make it go super fast. But you wouldn't understand that because you're a PC gamer." PC! That is literally the stupidest fucking thing anyone has ever said to me in my entire life. Keep in mind, this includes children's books that tell you that the sun goes to bed at night. That string of random letters you get when cleaning your keyboard. Sonic the Hedgehog fan fiction. The excuses people came up with to justify Matt being the protagonist of our Fallout 4 Mine series. A maintenance man who said he couldn't install a dishwasher because the counter was too high and we needed to lower it. We didn't, by the way. And YouTube comments refuting everything I said in It Sucks But I Still Played Five Nights at Freddy's. Disclaimer, shut up. I'll get back to this later, but one more thing. This guy also refuted that Nintendo Power was superior to Game Informer in every single way. I hope your mother is severely disappointed in your life choices, as she failed! So this game takes place like, I don't know, 50 years after Phantom Hourglass? That new Hyrule that Tetris said they'd find at the end of Wind Waker? Yeah, they found that. Way to reveal that huge plot point. So What's-His-Face gives you a bunch of backstory and exposition, none of which detail finding the land. What's-His-Face is person from Wind Waker who made you go through obstacle course on Pirate Boat twice. He's all old now, but he's not any taller than he was back then for some reason. But he's old because look, he has a beard! Hey, cheer up, kids, it gets a lot worse than this. And let me tell you, this certainly does justice to the Legend of Zelda canon. So this game doesn't have the Link from Phantom Hourglass and Wind Waker. It has some new Link that looks exactly like the old Link, but nobody acknowledges this fact. Stupid, and it drives me crazy. So other guy from Wind Waker teaches Link to do a train, and then he goes to Castletown to graduate from train school. And he gets his diploma signed by Princess Zelda herself. Because Princess Zelda has nothing better to fucking do. Nothing better to do than to sign a diploma that says Link is educated enough to drive a frickin' train. They didn't make a sequel to this. By the way, this Zelda is the Zelda from Legend of Zelda Wind Waker. It also sees the Zelda from Legend of Zelda Phantom Hourglass. And she doesn't look any older despite the fact that everyone else is either old or dead. She doesn't get a single sense of deja vu from seeing this kid. Nintendo could have said that this was the clone of the last Link and I would have believed that. And why isn't she old? Also worth noting, this is like the least fuckable version of Princess Zelda. She's like 12, what the fuck? Everyone got old but not her. And she mentions later in the game that this is the same Zelda from Wind Waker. Is she just not age? I don't know, because Nintendo's run by a bunch of indecisive cunts. By the way, we also meet the villain guy. You know how in most Disney movies, the main villain already looks really evil so that it's easier to accept him as the villain later? Yeah, we'll multiply that by 10. And add 6. You only need one glance of this guy's face to know that he's going to betray the fuck out of you. He's already giving off bad vibes when he gets up in Zelda's face and is all like, Zelda, I believe you have better things to do than sign this kid's diploma. Now go to your room. Well, I mean, he's not wrong. She could be solving the country's dependence on foreign oil, but this is more important, apparently. But she gives Link a note that tells Link to go to her room after she goes to her room. Because after seeing how much this kid resembles the original Toon Link, she's hot and bothered and doesn't know what to do with herself. The D. She wants the D. Unfortunately, after going to her room, the least fuckable iteration of Princess Zelda lives up to her title of being the least fuckable version of Princess Zelda, because she doesn't want the D, which is probably a good thing. This way we avoid child pedophilia. Zelda says that the world's train tracks are disappearing, so she wants to go to the great big tower to figure out why, because it turns out all the train tracks across the land are actually giant chains that are keeping an ancient demon enchained in this giant tower, but there you... Princess is dropping a sickening amount of exposition. It's like one of those bits in the first episode of an anime that explain the plot line to the rest of the anime, but everyone in the world already knows. So because this entire bit is already incredibly uncomfortable, Zelda gives Link a guard uniform. It's the ugly green tunic that looks exactly like Toon Link's, and we're gonna be wearing it the rest of the game. There is no excuse for people not to see the resemblance at this point. You bought a DS, so the two of them sneak out of the castle in what Nintendo would describe as a fun minigame. Not that fun, it's actually kind of boring. You draw these little lines on the touchscreen and Zelda follows them. Just don't let any of the guards catch her, because the ruler of this goddamn nation isn't supposed to be out after our 1 PM curfew. You know what? She's more of a figurehead at this point. This is why New Hyrule doesn't have any gun control laws. So they make it to the train, but they only get about halfway there before what's-his-face destroys all the train tracks. And then the evil mustache guy shows up, and I'm half expecting him to be twiddling that damn mustache as he walks up to the train. He also has this other guy with him who's also evil, and his name is the Edgelord. As Link proceeds to get the shit kicked out of him, and Link's friend who taught him how to drive a train proceeds to get the shit kicked out of him, and the transportation system across the New Hyrule proceeds to get the shit kicked out of it, and Zelda proceeds to get her soul sucked out of her chest, and it's about as flat as her personality. Zing! Because this time they don't want Princess Zelda, they want her body. Oh wow, I wrote that down in the script, but it sounds so fucked up when you say it out loud. And Zelda's soul apparitions itself away. Then they get on their demon emo locomotive and leave. I will fully admit that often my fact-checking on these videos is questionable, and this is not one of those times. There is legitimately, right now, on this earth, a game in which Link, the Legend of Zelda Link, has to fight a demon steam locomotive, which, keep in mind, wants Zelda's body as a vessel that they can use to take over the world. That's just That's wrong, and it might fall under child pedophilia. Aren't these kids like 12 or something? I just checked, the two of them are close in age, and Link was 12 in Wind Waker. And I guess he's about the same age because they look exactly the same. So the Demon Lord train is a pedophile. And the plotline of this game is literally that the ancient demon train locomotive wants to use Zelda's body as a vessel to take over the world. Nintendo, just how much of those train fumes were you inhaling? I thought Squid Girl was weird, but you're on like a whole different level. Link wakes up back at the castle and everyone is confusion. But Link follows Ghost Zelda up to Zelda's room, and Ghost Zelda is actually Zelda's apparition soul, which Link can see because... I don't know, Triforce or some shit. Actually, he can see her because he touched Thing. Get that image out of your head. Don't say what image, you know what image. We're still in the opening bits of this game, and this is the second time we've been in Zelda's bedroom and been severely disappointed. So now Link and Ghost Zelda have to go to the demon prison tower to... It's never actually explained what she wants to do there. They just... have to go there. But oh no, all the train tracks are gone. Every Japanese businessman's worst nightmare. This isn't a role-playing game, it's secretly a Japanese horror game. So they gotta take the convenient path out back that goes directly there and nowhere else that we couldn't use before because Zelda is trying to test the durability of my DS. I'm trying to snap it in half as the plot unfolds. Get it? Cause my DS actually folds, you 2DS freaks. No, seriously though, I hate all of you. So Link gets the non-special sword that we get in every Legend of Zelda game, and we go to the big demon jail tower. We meet the train maiden. She's this wrinkly old lady with wheels instead of legs because the theme here is trains. She needs her other pals to rebuild all of the train rails, and in order to do that, you gotta go through the tower. And you gotta activate the things, and it's like Temple of the Ocean King, except it's not Temple of the Ocean King. I didn't think Temple of the Ocean King was that bad. So we go through the first 3 floors of definitely not Temple of the Ocean King, and What's-Her-Face Train Maiden tells us we need to collect the Tears of Light, and it'll make Link's sword shine bright like a diamond, and then we can hit people in the back and Zelda can possess their body. This is all kinds of wrong. First it's male and female. And now it's female in male. No, this is not a sexual euphemism for having kids. So they go through the first 3 floors and then they turn the switch on that makes all of the forest tracks come back. And Link and Ghost Zelda get a new train provided by the train spirits. Oh my God, this is so dumb! And then the 2 of them go off on fun adventures across the 3 temples, you know the deal. They go to the Forest Temple, located deep out in the woods. Then they have to go to the Ice Temple, out in the middle of the glaciers or something. Then they gotta go to the Fire Temple, up in a volcano. And in between each of these, clearing more floors on the Demon Prison Tower thing. And at some point, Link's train gets a cannon. Also, apparently the simple concept of being able to carry cargo was too much for the train in the beginning, so they gave it that around the Fire Temple. Because, I don't know, the Gorons wanted ice or something. And that cannon is in a car that only has 2 wheels on it, and honestly, the thing should fall over. And just like every other Legend of Zelda game, you get a new gadget in every single temple, which is the key to beating the boss and the temple itself. Including one where you have to look like an idiot by blowing into the microphone, which you will never use because you have overwhelming social anxiety. But that doesn't seem to have stopped you from playing Pokemon Go. How's that convention going, by the way? I should also point out that right now Zelda is playing the role of the fairy that doesn't shut the fuck up. I'll go back and say it again. This is a horror game. Throughout this whole game, you are haunted by the ghost of Princess Zelda. Legend of Zelda Off the Rails Madness returns to Hyrule tonight. Because by the time you're done with these 3 temples, it's already too late. Because the Demon Lord has already taken possession of Zelda's body by the time you get to the top of the tower. Can we please acknowledge the fact that there's a Legend of Zelda game out there where a Demon Lord takes possession of a little girl's body? It's horrifying, and quite frankly, it's freaking me out. Oh, and at some point during this whole ordeal, we've climbed the tower a bunch of times times. I think we got into a fight with the edgelord. Give me a break. I played this game like 7 years ago. Told you that my fact-checking was questionable. But now we have to go to the water temple by going through the train tracks that are underwater. But why? Because the train spirit said that we have to go find the Bow of Light. How long did it take you to come up with that very creative name? So we're looking for the Bow of Light, but we can't find it. Probably because your bow is in another temple. It's in the sand temple, you dumbass. No, you're too busy driving a train underwater, which doesn't work, and if I gave half a shit, I could tell you a million reasons as to why. Unfortunately, that would involve giving a shit, and that's crazy talk. You want me to give a shit? Leave my YouTube videos alone! So you do the water temple, and then you go back to the demon prison tower, because it turns out there's more floors even though you made it to the top. And at some point, Linebeck from Phantom Hourglass shows up, even though he was in an alternate dimension. But I'm sorry, this is the ancestor of Linebeck, which looks exactly like Linebeck. This is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in a game. So now we go to the Sand Temple after going through a maze of tunnels. It's like that woods section from Ocarina of Time, only it's train tunnels. How long did it take you to come up with that very creative idea? It's too creative. The creativity is through the roof. You're reinventing the genre. And you fight this giant spider boss in the train tunnels. He's a dick. Oh, and at some point we learned that the edgelord used to work for the train spirits, but they had a falling out. Drama! Serious! Oh, God, who cares at this point? We barely see him anyway. He is the only person in this game having something that resembles an actual hand, though. This is probably a point in his favor. So they go to the Sand Temple and get the Bow of Light, and that's when things get knocked into third gear, because the Demon Lord has started doing a thing, and we have to stop him. So Link gets the special sword that we get in every Legend of Zelda game, and they go to stop... Wait, where'd he get that? Where did Link get the special sword? You cannot tell me that they just gave him the special sword. Oh my god, the train maiden literally just hands him the special sword. And with this special sword, we don't have to collect the Tears of Light in the goddamn tower anymore, so it's actually useful and game-changing. What the fuck? You've had this thing the whole game, and you're giving it to me now! Why were you holding out on me with this? What the fuck is your problem? I could have been using this the whole game, but you decided to keep it until now. I didn't do anything to earn this thing. She just gives it to him. Now, Link, before you run off to certain doom, here, take this special sword that's super useful, and I probably should have given it to you earlier. And it would have been useful in that dungeon you've had to run through 18 billion times by this point. I'm not getting over this. I made this entire episode of It Sucked, but I still played it because of this fucking sword. You think I'm joking here? Half the jokes I wrote down for this episode involve the sword. I'm not using all of them because that would be tedious and we'd be here for 5 hours. I started writing this in January 2016. This goddamn sword rant is the whole reason I'm here. It's so fucking stupid! I'm not joking here. I checked my facts on this one. Link has done nothing to earn it. She's literally just handing him the sword. This isn't one of those it's dangerous to go alone, take this situations. He already has a sword. This is just a better sword that's going to do a better job at killing things, which I could have used throughout this whole game. You know what? Fuck you. Some dumbass Nintendo fanboy is gonna come out and say that this was a good decision anyway. And I just want to let you know ahead of time that to whoever you are, you're a shitty human being. I bet it's the guy who hacked the train to go anywhere. Spirit hack! Told you I'd be back, you son of a bitch! In the never-ending war of trains versus boats debate. All that ocean water I was driving over with the train would have been way better in a boat! Unfortunately, this debate will be null and void when the next game comes out. Legend of Zelda Dune Buggy, where he just has a car, drives it everywhere. Maybe we'll put a cannon on that, too. Okay, so we go back to the demon prison tower yet again. As you know, we're so happy to go back there yet again. Zelda tells us how the super sword works. You don't have to collect things to kill things in here anymore. You can just kill things. This would have been super useful at, like, you know, the beginning of the game. Alright, I'm done! So you clear the floors, and then, once again, you fight the edgelord. He tries to hit you with his grapple arm. Yeah, that's a grapple arm, apparently. I looked up his grapple arm on Wikipedia. I didn't get any results, but it was on the Legend of Zelda wiki. Then you fight the demon locomotive, and it's really stupid, because the demon locomotive is the worst boss fight in the game. If anything, purely because of the fact that we're fighting a demon locomotive. Someone huffed an awful lot of train fumes to come up with that. So we defeat the demon locomotive, and then Zelda gets her body back, and also the edgelord turned good because he's the edgelord. And then he dies, and everyone's all sad and shit, even though he was a piece of shit for the whole game. Actually, that might have happened earlier, and I might have my events out of order. But it happened. I guarantee that it happened. And now Link and Zelda fight the demon lord, who's now taken possession of that Disney villain guy's body. And there's this bit during the boss fight where we have to protect Zelda from being hit by fireballs, and it's really fucking terrible, because Zelda doesn't have like a damage meter for it, so it can go on potentially forever. It's pure concentrated madness. Why is it that Zelda always has to shoot somebody with a bow? What was the bow used for in this game again? She's not even using the bow. She's charging up a magic spell shot or something. What the hell do we need the bow for? I think it was to open a door or something. So you get past the stupid fireball section. Oh my god, you get past the stupid fireball section, and Link and Princess Zelda are able to get on with their stupid, meaningless lives. Because after all they've been through, they don't get together at the end of this. The end cutscene is literally Zelda doing paperwork. She's signing all the engineer diplomas that had piled up over the course of the game. As the ruler of this fucking nation has nothing better to fucking do. And Link either goes back to driving a train, or he starts hitting people with swords for a living. You get a choice at the end. And neither of these endings end up with the two of them getting together. Congratulations, you're still the least fuckable iteration of Princess Zelda. Really living up to that title, you weird, ugly, potato-headed freak. So was all the drama in this game supposed to be funny? Because I thought it was really funny. You know how the game pretends to take itself seriously even though it's really funny. Come on, demon locomotive, that's hilarious. How many times did you look at Phantom Hourglass and hit copy and paste? Frankly, I think it is insulting how uncreative the game developers for this game were, which is really unfortunate because I believe that this is the game that pushed them over the edge. After this installment, they started trying to be more creative with the Legend of Zelda franchise. Unfortunately, that means they went and made Skyward Sword, which I didn't play, but I know it sucks. Or there was that 3DS one that I never played, but I watched the Game Grumps playing it. It was funny. When the fuck are you going back to finish that? Right around the time I go back and finish Pony Shenanigans 3. Oh my god, that video's never getting done. Legend of Zelda Spirit Contract. Sign a contract with me and become magical girls.